Hi and welcome to another video. This is just a quick, what would I describe? A quick little introduction to a project which is on its way. This is an ammo can, as they say here. It's plastic, so it's not a can at all. It's an ammunition box. It's designed for 50 caliber ammunition. Obviously in the UK we can't use such stuff like that unless you're in the military, but these are ideal for turning into I tend to call them a power accumulator or an energy accumulator. The sort of generic name seems to be a solar generator, but unless it's not a generator at all in my opinion, it's just a storage device. But this is what I'm going to use. It's obviously got some sort of zombie thing going on with it. I chose this one because it's cheap and pretty sturdy. It's got a nice snap down lid for sealing it up, although by the time I've installed some displays or gauges into here, it's not going to be very waterproof, but it is a nice sturdy thing. So I should just show you what I'm going to be putting into it. I'm getting a collection of parts. It's taken a little bit of a while to collect all the bits I need, but I shall just lay those out now. Right, so the first thing that it's going to need obviously is a power source, and I have that here. It's a bit of a development module at the minute. But we have 45 2200 milliamp hour 18650s grouped together as 15 P on a 3S pack, so it's 3S 15P. It's over 30 amp hours at 11.1 nominal volts, so that's going to be the power source. I've got a generic cheap BMS in here at the minute. I've ordered a balancing BMS, which I'm waiting for this to come through. This is for a sort of like model battery, a quadcopter kind of battery balancer lead, which I've used to balance the cells. I intend charging this via one of these solar charge controllers. This is designed for 3S lithium cells. It plugs into a solar panel at this end, and then it's just hardwired straight to the BMS on the battery pack. The next thing I'm going to be putting in is this. It's 500 watts continuous power apparently. I've measured the current. It seems to consume about 50 amps when it's pulling 500 watts, which is about right, I guess. It's a 12 volt. It'll work on 12 volts. It actually starts shutting down at around 10 volts. So that's a little bit above the minimum voltage on a 3S LiPo pack, but that's good because it means it won't fully discharge my LiPos. So that's that. It takes just a UK 3-pin power socket, and there's an on-off switch. But I'm going to manage to integrate this into here somehow, sort of like that, and then there is sufficient space to fit that in there as well. There's plenty of room above here. So I'm going to probably recase this and put the power socket straight through the wall, but I'll work that out when I've actually get around to installing it. I've also got a couple of these dual USBs. Let me get one out of the packet. It's USB, 2 5-volt sockets. They're not USB 3 or anything like that. They supply 2.1 amps at 5 volts on both of those sockets. So I'm going to be installing 2 of these into the ammo can. I'm also going to be installing 2 12-volt power sockets, like that. So 2 of those are going to go in. It's going to have some power switches to switch it on and off, and I'm going to use an automotive relay and one of these shunt based, it's like an inductive pickup based power monitor. This will control the relay, so I can switch the output on and off, and it allows me to shut the output down should the voltage drop too low. Also, if there's too much current being pulled, it'll shut the output down, and it'll monitor the state of charge of the battery as well, and give me an indication of how much energy is left in the battery. So that will be getting installed in here. I'm guessing it's going to be quite a tight fit to install everything that I want, but that's all going to go in here. I'm also going to put some banana jack outputs, or possibly to put banana jack outputs and inputs for solar, because I want it to be charged from solar. So I should just use some banana plugs. Got plenty of that sort of thing. So that's kind of like the components that I need so far to assemble this. I'm going to be using some switches as well, which I've decided to use some fairly robust rocker switches. So I'm going to be using these rocker switches. They're quite robust. They've got a little telltale LED on them as well, which actually in my experience seem to be a bit annoying, so I may or may not connect many of those LEDs up. But there you go, that's the components I've assembled to date for this particular project, which I shall be getting on within the next few weeks. So stay tuned, or stay if the old-fashioned way. Don't stay tuned these days, do we? If you're interested in this sort of thing, just subscribe, and I shall pop new content up as and when I finish it, or at least get to start assembling this sort of stuff. Thanks for watching.